I green? Am I in a good mood? And this is what it feels like to feel really calm and comfortable. When people are really angsty, you have to notice it first. And then once you notice it, you can do something about it. So if it's you're hanging out with family and you're just getting triggered and you can't have one more dinner with them, you got to take a deep breath. Take a time out, go take a walk in a safe.
Off at the pass before you explode.
Connect with nature. Yeah, your animals. Listen to music. There are ways that you can, decompress. Listen, but, don't listen to so much news. It's going to make you crazy.
Bad news for us. We talk a lot about family dynamics. This question from a listener saying, what are your suggestions for either older people who aren't married and have no kids or people who are all alone? They don't have a support network. Cope.
Well, I have a lot of older people that I'm doing telehealth with. And the nice thing is that they neighbors and they're reaching out to neighbors and they're trying to kind of, look for other community resources. So sometimes people can talk to them and teach them a little bit about technology, but it's our responsibility, too, as we are younger and we are more to be able to identify. So, it's okay to look around and see your neighbors, introduce yourself a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to get up close and be safe. But it is our responsibility to kind of see where we can help out in our community. So does that mean delivering meals at the steps? Does it mean do they need us to water their garden? Is there anything that we can do? I think it goes both ways. But there's support groups. You don't have to be techie. You can just sit on the old school phone line. A lot of my elderly patients don't know anything about technology, and that's okay because there's also that you can hear and listen and participate to.
Okay. What about for couples? I know there are some married couples out there right now spending a lot of time together. Exactly. What advice do you have for them? I'm sure you're getting calls. They're spending 24 hours a day together in some cases. What advice do you have for them? I'm sure you're getting.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting text wars and calls, and I'm talking to couples morning, noon, and night. And, what I have to say is fight. When you catch yourself again escalating or you're getting frustrated, you have to separate a little bit. This is all, under a lot of stress, especially if people are losing their jobs or they're furloughed. There's just this tension that we're all feeling right now. So, it seems a little fluffy as a therapist, but it's true. Use this as an opportunity to increase healthy communication. So that means find it, and it can be together or it can be apart. I have one couple that I just think is so wonderful. They made, a celebrant, had a beautiful dinner and then pushed the couch away and they took salsa lessons online. And that was really sweet. And they weren't in a good place, but they said, you know what, because, it's our date night or whatever, you've got to get creative. But, this is also an opportunity because for the couples that are at risk for separation or divorce, it is really solidifying, that they're learning how to co-parent, that they are actually working together to create a plan of what that will out of quarantine. But for the most part, I'm really encouraging my couples, again, as, fluffy as this is for therapy, to fall in love again if possible. There's some fun things that you can do to look up how to fall in love and be flirty and use this as a time to celebrate love.
Dancing will do it. Yes.
Suddenly there's an uptick in salsa lessons. If you can make it through this, I guess you can get through anything. Dr. Wendy O'Connor.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Take care.
Tomorrow morning, 9:45, top cancer specialist from USC. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll talk with CBS News travel editor Peter. Handle your travel questions, your trip cancellations. What will travel look like? Road trips first, maybe, before you get back on a plane. Corona questions at knx10.com.
The governor says, yes, some businesses are reopening beginning tomorrow in California, but warns about the risk. More at the bottom of the hour. It's 4:25.
Brought to you by Major Traffic and Weather, together every 10 minutes on the 5's Denise Fondo.
Anaheim Hills SIG alert continues for your 91 eastbound. This is just before the 55. We had a crash with a couple of cars, and that truck was hauling rat poison. So we have a hazmat cleanup about to happen there. You've got all the lanes closed except for the right lane is squeezing through there with a backup that starts in Anaheim at about Harbor Boulevard. So you just don't want to sit in that. You can take La Palma, head east, get to Lake, then you can get back on the 91 eastbound that way, and you're going to get around that closure and all of that slowing. We've got another SIG alert in Orange County. This is in Westminster. Let's go to Broad Jam Cab.
Northbound side, just past Westminster Boulevard. This is a big rig trailer, a flatbed trailer that's overturned here. 2 right lanes blocked. This is going to be here for a while. Delays at Golden West. If you want to take Golden West up to the 22 and then take that 22 back to the 45, that'll definitely be a time saver for you. Let's see how your drive is on the 10 Santa Monica Freeway with the California Toyota dealers. Sky 3.
Quite a bit of slowing, actually. 10 eastbound loading up, leaving the 405 about National Overland. Worst of it out to about La Brea. You get some improvement and some additional Normandy over toward the 110. It picks up again, and then a bit sluggish as you head into the East LA interchange, Denise.
Since 1991, Major Surplus is your local source for personal equipment, masks, gloves, and emergency food packs. Order online at majorsurplus.com and be confident the products you're buying are from a dependable source at the lowest possible. Online at majorsurplus.com, majorsurplus.com. Next report, 4:35 with more traffic reports more often. I'm Denise Fondo, KNX 1070.
Hot day today, a little bit cooler tomorrow, more noticeable in terms of a cooling trend once we get into the weekend.
Churches want to get back to worship and have put the governor on notice. We'll have more in this story 3 minutes away. It's 4:27.
Safety with respect. It's what the San Francisco is all about. We're looking for people who are willing to join our team to serve our city. The police department is in a continuous hiring period. Starting salary is over $89,000 a year and numerous career advancement opportunities. It's an exciting career that allows you to help people, protect the community, and ensure San Francisco is the safest city to live in, work in. Call 415-837-7270 or apply online at sfpdcareers.com.
This is your personal information on your laptop. And this is what happens when you connect to the coffee shop Wi-Fi. Or buy something with your smartphone. Your information can ping-pong all over the place and be exposed to cybercriminals. More threats demand more protection. That's why Norton and LifeLock are now part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock provides all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that gives you identity theft protection, a VPN for online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is in today's connected world. After all, your info isn't going to stop bouncing around anytime soon. Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save $25 off your first year by going to norton.com/join. That's norton.com/join to save 25%.
Welcome back to Sports View. Today's top deserves to win big this season. My 2 cents, good drivers. I mean, that's why there's Snapshot from Progressive. Let's go to Rick for some confusing metaphors.
Look, if you put a classically garage band and you tell them to play filet mignon, I guarantee you, the meat on that burrito ain't gonna light the candle.
Thanks for clarifying, Rick.
If you're a good other way to say it, you deserve discounts with Snapshot. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Doctor's log, hell date 2020. It's 7 a.m. I just ended my shift in the emergency room, and now I'm out. I grew up watching Star Trek reruns as a kid, and in the intro to Star Trek, they have this description of their mission, which is to go where no man has gone before. Right now, health and medical industries are on that kind of mission. And it really feels like my colleagues and I are embarking on this new journey as we stand on the front lines of the COVID crisis. To each other, we've never done this before. We've never seen anything like this on this scale before. And so I wanted to capture some of this journey. So I'm starting my own captain's log, documenting my personal experiences and thoughts as this pandemic unfolds around us. I'm Esther Chu, MD, and this is my doctor's log. Go subscribe on radio.com and wherever you get your podcasts.
Life has changed almost overnight.
A lot of questions. We're going to try to get you some answers. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Charles Feldman. Together, we host Coronavirus Daily, a podcast designed to help us all get through this crisis.
We go around the world and talk to some of the top experts out there. So think of this as a guide for you and your family. Multiple ways to listen: radio.com, the app, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher.
Remember, that's Coronavirus Daily.
This is only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Karen Adams. Our top local story at 4:30. In-depth team virus pandemic. The state is giving the green light for many retail stores to reopen for curbside pickup starting tomorrow. Governor Gavin Newsom says he's aware of the risk.
This by no stretch of the imagination is over. We want to contain this spread. We are making real progress in the state because you have physical distancing and you've abided broadly by the stay-at-home order, but we're not out of the woods. And yes, we are very, very cognizant of the fact that we anticipate more engagement, and obviously more engagement, more mixing of individuals puts people potentially at risk of contracting the disease.
Newsom says parts of the state that haven't been hit hard by coronavirus may be able to let restaurants resume serving dine-in customers next week.
Pastors representing 1,500 churches, all sizes in the state, telling the governor they intend to hold in-person, responsibly conducted worship services May 3rd. They say they hope he will work with them.
From mega churches to small parishes, the coalition says in-person worship is an essential part of people's lives, despite comments to the contrary over the last several weeks of the shutdown. Robert Tyler, with Advocates for Faith and Freedom, says their declaration today made that abundantly clear.
These churches are not looking for permission to their constitutional rights. They're going to exercise their right to the free exercise of religion. They're going to minister to their flock. They're going to minister to their communities. They're going to provide for the spiritual needs, which is just physical needs.
Tyler says the churches are in the final stages of developing a blueprint to allow for use of masks, spacing of services, and more, which would stand as a model for others as well.
Use that to be able to operate safely, and frankly, more safe than Costco or any grocery store.
The governor has not rejected the concept of a diet, but he has not indicated he's ready to accept it either at the present time. In the meantime, Tyler says legal challenges of the governor's actions are waiting in the wings if needed. In Fontana, Pete Demetex, 1070 News Radio.
While they're not there yet, officials in Orange County say they will work to meet state criteria aimed at opening up more of the economy sooner. Marco Carrero is live with that part of our coverage.
The county simply doesn't meet the criteria right now, especially with regard to the prevalence of the virus. Regions have weeks without a death, and the county reported one today. OC Health Officer Dr. Nicole Quick.
We are currently in Orange County working to expand our testing capacity over the entire county.
She says they're also working to expand contact tracing. County CEO Frank Kim says they will work to make the case to the state can safely move deeper into stage 2 of reopening, pointing to their data on positive cases and hospitalizations.
I think that we'll be able to demonstrate we're able to have a really flat curve, and hopefully that it will be declining over time and in the near future.
Currently has more than 3,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, with 96 new cases reported today. Reporting live, Margaret Carrero, KNX 1070 News.
More than 800 new COVID-19 cases, more than 4 dozen additional deaths being reported today in LA County, which is getting ready to start reopening some things.
As we begin this journey of recovery, some of us will be going back to work, and some of us will just be out and around more people. But mean that we're now living in a post-COVID-19 world.
Barbara Ferrer, the county's public health director, says if you'll be going out, act as if you and everyone around you take precautions, including keeping your distance, wearing a face covering, and washing your hands often.
We're going to go extraordinarily slow, and the reason why is be doing this at the expense of people's lives. We want to do it. We want to do it in a measured way. We're going to be taking our time. We're going to be looking at data as we always do. It's going to be transparent. You're going to be able to see the dashboard as well in terms of what we're tracking. And when the numbers don't look good, we're going to reassess. And if that means taking a step back, unfortunately, we'll need to take that step back.
The total number of cases in the coming toward 30,000, and deaths have pushed past the 1,400 mark. Claudia Pescuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
6 weeks after its much heralded in the port of L.A., the hospital ship USNS Mercy discharged its final patient on Tuesday. They never saw the huge spike in medical cases from the coronavirus. Just 77 patients from trauma to basic medical care. Last month, some of the staff aboard the Mercy were assigned to duty off the ship at a skill facility in Orange County. The Mercy is still docked in the city's port in San Pedro, unlike its sister ship, the USNS Comfort, which left New York City last week, treating just 182 patients. Charges dropped against the former national security advisor to President Trump. Details after traffic. It's
traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Denise Fondo.
We got a quick check here of the 405 southbound north of Valley Vista. CHP just stopped all the lanes. We had a fire, and it looks like they cleared it out of the carpool lane, so you should be moving through there once again. But again, we had a break on the 405 southbound north of Valley Vista. Now from Anaheim Hills, your 91 eastbound is shut down except for one lane. This is just before the 55. We had a wreck that involved a truck and a couple of cars, and we've got a poison spill across the freeway lanes except for that right lane. So we're waiting for the cleanup to start there. We've got a big backup, starts at Harbor Boulevard in Anaheim. So you want to take, and you can take that east to Lakeview, take Lakeview to the south, and you can get back on the 91 eastbound that way. Let's go to our other OC SIG alert. Brian, 405 Jam Cam.
Improvement here, 405 North, just past Westminster Boulevard. This is a big rig trailer that actually flipped over. They got it over to the right. Now, instead of the two right lanes blocked, it's only the still going to be with us for a while. You do have delays now a little bit past Beach Boulevard. If you want to take Beach to the 22 back to the 405, that will work. Let's have a look at the 5 between Boyle Heights and Buena Park. The California Toyota dealers, Sky 3.
Look pretty good out of the East LA interchange on the South 5, but starting around Garfield, some reduced speeds down to about Lakewood Boulevard. Then it picks up for you down northbound with the exception of some slowing just up through Imperial Highway. Looking good up through the 605 toward the City of Commerce. Denise?
Next report at 445 with more traffic reports from Denise Fondo, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Hot again today, 80s, 90s, some triple digits out there. Into tomorrow, cooling trend is going to kick off. Won't notice it too much at first tomorrow, but more cooling for the weekend. So we'll come down more into the 80s instead of the 90s and the hotter spots. 94 now in Van Nuys, 78, Santa Monica, Fullerton, 5-day forecast at 445.
It's 4:37. The DMV is opening some of their offices tomorrow.
These are all for people who have to send to deal with a DMV issue, like applying for a disabled person parking placard, or reinstating a suspended or revoked driver's license, paying registration for if that was impounded over registration issues, and processing commercial driver's license transactions. 25 of the field offices, including those in Santa Ana, Lancaster, and south of downtown LA, will be opening from 8 to 5, except Wednesdays, when it'll be from 9 to 5. This will be the first time those offices since they were shut down March 27th due to the pandemic. Randy Cardoon, KNX 1070 News Radio.
LA Metro revising the face covering the riders beginning Monday, the 11th. So this next Monday, they'll require all riders on the buses and trains to wear coverings to help prevent the spread of the virus. Up until now, this was a recommendation. Says they're going to enforce it to the extent that's practical, and they're considering the best ways to do that. And then they'll also be looking at ways that maybe they can help some of the riders get to the face while keeping enough for the staffers. Last night, Mayor Garcetti did this for all the LA transit buses, and then he called on Metro to do the same. So today.
Some of the many business owners who are really struggling are now getting the green light to reopen as part of the governor's plan to move forward.
Some businesses that are at risk could open as soon as tomorrow. That includes bookstores and florists. Felicia St. Dennis has been operating Flowers by Felicia in Playa del Rey 1 year, but she also sells coffee and gifts.
I've stayed open through the pandemic. I've been the only person here.
She says it's been tougher to get suppliers, and she's only been taking orders by phone for delivery. The latest move by the governor comes at a crucial time.
All of us just want to have the Mother's Day business, quite honestly, because I think after this, it's really going to be a shaky summer because we have no events, graduation, or prom business.
Weddings either. Felicia tells KNX she has brought back one employee and had to hire friends, even her own kids, to get her through Mother's Day. She orders to fill. In Playa del Rey, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The pandemic has paralyzed LAX. So bad with little hope for near-term significant staff reductions. They're likely. Some terminals may be shut down.
The coronavirus shutdown has put LAX in the red.
Reduction in operating costs is our paramount.
Airport leaders urgently told to find ways to cut $50 million from next year's budget.
64% of our total budget goes towards payments of salaries.
Staffers are looking at everything, including renegotiating union contracts to try and get lower pay agreements, also offering retirement and early buyouts to staff, for closing 2 terminals, which would save electricity.
2 terminals shut down, so we would need to sharpen our pencils and figure out what is really truly indicative of this reduction in passenger traffic.
Board members were told flatly not to expect significant air travel recovery in the next fiscal year. They return next final decisions on exactly what gets cut. Craig Figner, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Looking at the bad drives at 445, and our eye in the sky will be over that Sigel one in Anaheim Hills. It's coming up in less than 4 minutes. It's 441.
This is your personal information on your laptop. happens when you connect to the coffee shop Wi-Fi or buy something with your smartphone. You can ping pong all over the place and be exposed to cybercriminals. More threats demand more protection. That's why LifeLock are now part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock provides all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that gives you device security, identity theft protection, online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is your ally in today's connected world. Your info isn't going to stop bouncing around anytime soon. Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save 25% or more off your first year by going to norton.join. That's norton.com/join to save 25%.
Woke up late and missed dialing into the professor's lecture? Not rewind. 20 minutes late dialing into the important conference call? Oops. Not rewindable. The station you're listening to now on radio.com? Very rewindable. Radio Rewind lets you rewind this station up to 24 hours back. You won't miss anything ever again. Or at least on radio.com. Just go to the bottom of your screen rewind button. Listen to what you want when you want with radio.com Rewind. Did you know you can actually pause and rewind live? Yeah, that's a thing. It's radio.com Rewind. Here's how it works. If you're listening to this station and you missed something, it's easy to go back in time. Just go to the screen and slide up the rewind banner. Scroll to the left to go back to previous hours. Just pick the purple card for the hour you want and press play. Simple. Pick any S24. Make missing important news a distant memory. Listen to what you want when you want with radio.com Rewind. So you just tuned in. Did you miss something? Came in the middle of a sentence? Or a show? That's unfortunate. That's why there's radio.com Rewind. Talk about convenient. You can rewind this station up to 24 hours back. No matter what you missed, it's still there. Just go to the bottom of your screen and click the rewind button. The hour you want, and you're instantly there. Listen to what you want when you want with radio.com Rewind. Radio.com Rewind.
This week, Dean and Adam Lambert have released a new version of the classic song, We Are the Champions. With its coronavirus-inspired title, You Are the Champions. All proceeds of this single go towards the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for the World Health Organization. And Alice Cooper is releasing a new song on May 15th, Give Up, and you can be part of the video. To find out how, just go to alicecooper.com.
For all the classic hits, it's radio.com. This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
444.
And I'm Karen Adams. Coming up,
restaurants making plans for when the customers can actually stay and eat.
Governor Newsom makes it official. Many stores will be able to reopen tomorrow.
Bloomberg's Mona Rivera. One of the major stock indexes is now out of the red for the year. That story is coming up in 5 minutes.
445 now. Traffic and weather. 10 minutes on the 5s. Brought to you by First 5 California. Denise Fondo.
Drivers are struggling with 2 SIG alerts in Orange County. We start with a big one in Anaheim Hills. Scott is 91 in the Southern California Toyota dealers. Sky 3.
91 eastbound coming up on the 55. That's where most of the freeway is blocked right now. You do have one single available to you. This is due to a spill of rat poison, of all things, on the freeway. It looks like there's people down there sweeping it up by hand. And it is jammed solid starting about Harbor. You want to use La Palma heading eastbound instead of the freeway. As long as you get on at Lakeview or any point to the east of that, looks like it's going to be a good trip for you heading out toward the Santa Ana Canyon. 405 West SIG alert to Jam Cam with Brian.
Effects are northbound side just past Westminster Boulevard. It's the right lane block. This is a truck trailer that's on its side, and it's still on its side. You've got to back up almost to Beach Boulevard, so it's going to be tough if you want to exit at Golden West or Beach Boulevard. Take that north to the 22. Take that 22 back to the 405 for a time saver. Denise.
Back on the 105, slowing you down in Hawthorne. It's eastbound a little bit before Prairie, and CHP just stopped traffic there to get it cleared out of the roadway. Here's a brain-boosting tip from Fornia. Read books with your child in different languages. If you don't have any, some libraries offer free online resources, and you can access that from your home. More ideas at first5.com. Next report, 455 with more traffic reports more often. I'm Denise Fondo, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Get ready for another hot day across Southern California. Soar well above average. Expect lower 80s along the coast, upper 80s for downtown and the basin, 90s in the valleys this afternoon, upper 90s in the 94 in the high desert, and upper 70s up in the mountains. We have heat advisories in effect as temperatures soar to the 90s. Some areas could even feel triple digit. Relief is in the extended forecast. Temperatures start to cool off this weekend, and then more significant cooling comes by next week. With Southern California's most accurate and I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Alex Biston for KNX 1070 News Radio.
87 downtown LA, 81 Santa Ana, 92 Riverside.
It's 4:47. California's restaurants are not part of the state's reopening tomorrow, but many are wondering what dining out will look like in this coronavirus world. The California Restaurant Association had a plan to give these businesses some guidance, and President and CEO Jat Kandi tells KNX there will be a number of safety guidelines in place.
You're going to see the layout of a dining room look differently. And again, it will be, dependent, hopefully, on the individual counties to make the determinations distancing protocols are.
Among other recommendations, employees wearing masks, eliminating buffets and salad bars, and taking employees' temperature daily basis. Governor Newsom held a roundtable with restaurant owners and workers about what they're going through. Brenda Estrada owns Nana's Kitchen in Imperial and says it's been a challenge to not close the doors.
We built something really, really, really special, and our community has been very supportive. But at the end of this, as a mom, as a businesswoman, it's tough. It's tough. They were even asking me if we even had to open Sundays so that we can make through our payments. I don't want to be behind.
The governor has not set guidelines or an estimate on when dine-in restaurants will be able to open back up.
Unemployed workers for the businesses to reopen. New poll suggests a lot of them are feeling good about their prospects.
About 80 to 90% of people who have applied for unemployment benefits in California say they're hired at their old jobs. UCLA economics professor Till von Wachter tells KNX that positive thinking may help.
In the past, we have seen that those that have relocations tend to fare substantially better than other laid-off workers. And so if the crisis doesn't last too long, there's reasonable hope here that we could move and restart the economy more quickly.
But he says if things drag on or the shutdowns return, cold, hard reality will reveal that many of those jobs simply won't. And the positive thinkers will need to prepare for a longer stretch out of work. Rob Archer, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The Justice Department is dropping the criminal case against President Trump's first national security advisor, Michael Flynn. In an exclusive interview with CBS News, Attorney General William Barr tells correspondent Catherine Harris, upon review of newly discovered information, the decision was made to stop the prosecution of Flynn, who was accused by prosecutors of lying to the FBI about his conversations with the ambassador in a January 2017 interview.
So as new information just became available that has a bearing on whether there was a legitimation, that requires us, our duty, we think, is to dismiss the case.
Barr says the new investigation shows that Flynn's alleged lie was linked to the ongoing Russian probe.
4:50. Now let's check your money. Here's Mona Rivera.
Mike and Karen, since people seem to be relying on technology to get through the pandemic, the tech-heavy NASDAQ is continuing to rally, and now has erased all its losses since the crisis hit. The NASDAQ 0.4% today and became positive for the year. The Dow added 211 points, gaining 0.9%. The S&P added over 1%. Companies with better-than-expected earnings did well today, including T-Mobile, ViacomCBS, Square, and PayPal. As for earnings reports after the bell, .com cannot wait to close the books on the last quarter. Gross travel bookings fell by more than half year over year, and bookings for hotel rooms in 85%. Live Nation says revenue last quarter dropped 20% from a year earlier, but it says that fans are holding onto their tickets for fewer cancellations than feared. We check your money at 20 and 50 after each hour. I'm Bloomberg's Mona Rivera from the HMS Capital Money Desk, KMD News Radio.
It's back to elective surgeries across the country. Nip and tucks not included. Details in 2 minutes is 4:51.
To all essential personnel, KNX 1070 News Radio wants you to know how Southern California feels about you.
I'd just like to thank all my fellow medics for all your hard work and dedication.
Hi, this is a message to all our frontline workers. Please stay strong. You are the bridge to tomorrow. Without you, tomorrow.
To all of you on the front lines, thank you. We'll get through this together.
Safety with respect.
It's what the Sanford Department is all about. We're looking for people who are willing to join our team to serve our city. The police department is in a continuous hiring period. Starting salary is over $89,000, full benefits, and numerous career advancement opportunities. It's an exciting career that allows you to help people, protect the community, and ensure San Francisco is the safest city to live in. Worth it. Call 415-837-7270 or apply online at sfpdcareers.com.
This is your personal information on your laptop. And this is what happens when you connect to the coffee shop Wi-Fi. Or buy something with your... Your information can ping-pong all over the place and be exposed to cybercriminals. Demand more protection. That's why Norton and LifeLock are now part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock provides all-in-one membership for your cyber safety, security, identity theft protection, a VPN for online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock ally in today's connected world. After all, your info isn't going to stop bouncing around anytime soon. Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save more off your first year by going to norton.com/join. That's norton.com/join to save 25%.
Checking your Thursday commute in 2 minutes. And our eye in the sky will be over that SIG alert on the 91 in Anaheim Hills. It's 4:53.
For weeks, Americans have been waiting to have their elective hospitals are preparing to open their operating rooms again. That includes Cedars-Sinai in Southern California right here. Chief Operating Officer Dr. Jeff Smith says they postponed more than 2 weeks, some of them being medically necessary, hearts and cancer surgeries.
So all patients who are being either admitted for scheduled procedures, being admitted from the ED for any reason, we are currently testing them for COVID. Now, the good news is that we're finding that patient symptoms are very, very, very unlikely to test positive.
Another reminder from the doctor, patients shouldn't be afraid to visit the emergency room if they're experiencing threatening symptoms.
Some business groups in California say they're unhappy with Governor Newsom's executive order that makes it easier for people to file for workers' compensation if they get COVID. If someone thinks they got it from work, it's now up to the business to prove otherwise. Jerry Azevedo with the Workers' Compensation Action Network tells KNX this is likely to prove companies.
Employers will end up paying for cases of COVID-19 that were contracted away from the workplace. It'll bring in additional costs and disability benefits that are not traditionally a part of the liability that employers take on as part of the workers' comp bargain.
Probably lead to insurance rate increases too. But Dave Regan, president of the SEIU, United Healthcare Workers West, tells KNX this helps healthcare workers.
What we'll do is hopefully take a big step towards just providing peace of mind for people who are doing dangerous work every day in it that most of us don't have to do.
Governor Newsom says California is bleeding money because of the pandemic. This is some businesses tomorrow in the state. More at 5:03 after CBS News is 4:55.
Brought to you by Hint Water. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Denise Fondo.
You're plagued by a couple of big trouble spots this afternoon. Let's go to the first. It's the 91. Scott is there in the Southern California Toyota dealers. Sky 3.
91 eastbound, right at effectively the entire freeway is closed. You're getting by on the right shoulder right now. This is due to an earlier crash and a spilled load of rat poison. So they're trying to clean that up, but it is. The backup starts way back at Harbor Boulevard. I just looked at La Palma. That's still holding as a decent alternate, at least in the immediate area here. As long as you use La Palma and get back on the freeway at Lakeview, you'll be in good shape as you work your way out toward the Santa Ana Canyon. The other SIG alert in Westminster on the 405. Jam Cam with Brian.
So northbound side just passed Westminster, a big rig trailer that's on its side. Right lane is blocked. We had the 2 right blocked before. The backup's getting a little bit better. Still pretty much jammed from Golden West. Golden West north of the 22.5 would be your alternate. Denise.
We've got a new problem on the 10 West LA 10 eastbound at Overland. Crash right shoulder. Doesn't look bad eastbound coming up on that. The worst part is the 405 into Mid-City. And you've got an SUV that's stuck on the 60 eastbound right at the 605, and that is out in the number 2 lane. Hint is Pure Water, surprisingly true fruit flavors, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at Drink Hint. Water with a touch of true fruit flavor. Next report, 5:05 with more traffic reports more often. I'm Denise Fondo, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Hot day today, 80s, 90s, some triple digits, little cooler tomorrow, and then more of a cooling trend for the weekend, 4:57.
Boy, things have gotten really weird.
Yeah, it almost you don't know what to expect. So we are going to try and help get you through it.
I'm Charles Feldman.
And I'm Mike Simpson, and we're the hosts of the new podcast, Coronavirus Daily. We bring in some of the top all around the world to ask the questions that you have.
Because we are all in this together, and you know what? We are all going to survive this together.
Again, Coronavirus Daily on the radio.com app, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher.
This is your personal information on your laptop. And this is what happens when you connect to the coffee shop Wi-Fi. Or buy something with your smartphone. Your information can ping-pong all over the place and be exposed to cybercriminals. More threats demand more That's why Norton and LifeLock are now part of one company. Norton 360 with LifeLock provides all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that gives you device security, protection, a VPN for online privacy, and more. No one can prevent all cybercrime and identity theft, but Norton 360 with LifeLock is your ally in today's world. After all, your info isn't going to stop bouncing around anytime soon. Sign up today for Norton 360 with LifeLock and save 25% or more off your going to norton.com/join. That's norton.com/join to save 25%.
This week in music.
South by South facing a class action lawsuit for refusing to offer refunds after the festival was canceled because of the coronavirus. Lars Ulrich says there's a very good chance Metallica could work on new music. Slipknot guitarist Jim Root is planning his own solo project. And as part of the All In Challenge for COVID-19 relief, Eddie Vedder says Pearl Jam will give some fans